Hello adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. I am very excited because I'm about to go on an adventure and you guys are going to be coming with me on a future upload. However, today I wanted to talk about the logistics of this adventure and what all I'm going to be taking with me, because this is a shorter trip, but it is a very specific trip. I'm going to be doing something that a lot of you guys have been very interested in doing yourself, and so I'm going to be showing you the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, and the how whenever we get there. But right now I'm going to show you how we're preparing for this. It's really important that whenever you're doing a specific kind of trip to prepare for that trip accordingly. And there's a few things that this particular location has shared that I wanted to pass on to you all. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to pack to go mining. Now, we're not just talking about getting in the van and going someplace. In fact, I'm not even going to be staying in my van on this trip. I'm going to be staying in a cabin, and I'll be doing a full review of the campground that I'm staying at and everything like that as well. However, today I'm talking about the actual act of preparing to go mining. What you need, what will help you, and also how to stay safe. I think it's really important. And believe it or not, this is something that you can do no matter your age. In fact, I'm going to the Ron Coleman mine in Arkansas, and that particular mine is an all ages mine. They do ask you to bring a few things with you, and also to make sure that you have a few safety considerations whenever you do come. However, it's one of those places that you pay one fee and then you get to go all day long. So today I'm going to be showing you how that my family prepares to go mining. And I think that this is going to be helpful whether you're 1 year old or 100 years old. Now, I know some people are probably out there scratching their heads saying, I don't see myself as much of a miner. However, let me show you some of the things that have been pulled out of this mine. Now, we're not going underground, keep in mind. All of these things were found without having to go below the surface at all. The Ron Coleman is a little bit different. It's a tailings mine. So what they do is they actually bring out the stuff and they dump it in front of this large area, and then you can go out there and go through all of this. Now, I am a believer because my dad actually recently went and he pulled out all sorts of crazy things, and that's why in fact we're all going as a family, because it was that much of an exciting trip. And as you can see from the photos that I shared, there's a lot of people who find some really cool things. I really like a good activity, and so today let's prepare for that. Sunscreen, glasses, hat. These are three things that you definitely need if you're going to be going out into this particular adventure. This is going to be a super fun adventure, but you want to protect yourself. In fact, the Ron Coleman mine recommends that you bring lots of sunscreen that you can reapply. Now, once you purchase your actual ticket, you can go in and then you can leave as many times as you'd like within that calendar day. So keeping sunscreen either on your person or in your car so you can go and reapply it is so important because you're out there in the hot sun. Sunglasses, of course, are always recommended on my channel. I have weak eyes, and one of the first things that I learned about having weak eyes is that protecting them with a UV protectant sunglasses is so important, so important. But also, whenever you're out there and there's a field of all of this stuff going on, sunglasses, especially tinted sunglasses, are going to allow you to take away some of the glare so that you can see all of the great stuff that's out there. Now, as for a hat that has a brim on it is very important. And I just have this nice little outdoor hat that can fold up and fit in my glove box. So whenever I go on an adventure, I can pull it out and just put it on and go for it. But another nice thing about a hat is if you're starting to get too warm out there, you can dunk your hat in water and it'll keep your head a little bit cooler and it'll retain the good moisture instead of the bad moisture. So sunscreen, sunglasses, hat. Those are going into the pack. Okay, one of the most important things is starting your day off right whenever you're going to the mine, and a breakfast is very important. So I'm going to be taking 2 adventure meals from Mountain House. These are both the breakfast skillet, and so these are great because they have potatoes and eggs and some sausage, peppers, and onions in them. But I really like them because you can pair them with the tortillas and make breakfast tacos. So 2 meals is enough to feed all 3 of us a pretty hearty breakfast before we get out there. Next up, good boots, Good pants. Both of these are also going to be super important whenever you're digging out there. Good boots have a nice tread on them so that whenever you're walking on the uneven surfaces, it can grip and keep you in a place where you feel stable. Also, another thing about the boots, you want them to be waterproof, because if you're out there and it's super sloshy and muddy, you don't want to get your feet all nasty and squishy, because that's going to make you uncomfortable and you're not going to want to dig as long. So, good waterproof boots. But waterproof boots aren't enough by themselves. You also need some good socks. I recommend a good wool sock or a moisture wicking sock of some kind. Again, for the same reason, it'll just make your experience a lot better. Now, why pants? Well, pants are going to keep you from getting scuffed up and scraped. And I recommend an athletic pant of some kind that is designed for hiking. Now, the reason why is because a lot of times they also have moisture wicking materials, so that's going to keep you from just keeping all of that heat inside if you're doing this during the summer months, which I will be. Now, I have a few colors of these. I will be wearing a lighter color likely, but I like these also because they have tons of pockets, which means if I find something when I'm surface digging, I can just take it, shove it in my pocket, and then take it over the wash station if there's not a bucket near me. So I recommend getting a nice pair of hiking pants to do this, and I actually have these that I found at Walmart in the men's department. They're a Wrangler product, and on these you can actually select not only your size in waist but also length, so you can get a size that fits you correctly. And some of you have asked me previously on the channel what kind these are, and the only thing I can find on them is in the tag it says Care 307. I don't know that that's the kind or the style. I just know that these have a red inner waistband that says Wrangler on them, and then you can pick your size both in waist and length. Now, speaking of Walmart, before we were going on this trip, we actually went to Walmart and picked up a cart. A cart is something else that is super handy. It's not necessary, but if you're planning on being there for a long time, it's going to help you carry in your supplies, it's going to help you carry out your fun finds, and also you're going to be able to carry in things like water and stuff like that to make it a little bit more enjoyable while you're out there, so you don't have to leave as much. In addition, if you decide to take an umbrella, you can put that in the cart. Now, the typical recommendation for water is that for every mile that you're walking or for every hour that you're going to be out, you should have at least 1 liter of water. This is not an exception at the Ron Coleman Mine. In fact, they tell you to bring as much water as you can because you want to stay hydrated. Again, hydration is a huge thing during the summer months especially, and you can easily get dehydrated because there's no shade structures, so bring tons of water. Now, some of the tools that you might find useful are these tools right here. A shovel, a rake, a bucket, some old towels, believe it or not, and gloves. Those are all things that will definitely come in handy. Remember, whenever you're finding things and unearthing them, not only could you be in the mud, but you'll also be in the dirt. You're going to be reaching into areas and picking up literal crystals that are beautiful, but I don't know if you've seen a crystal recently, but they're not always the smoothest of surface. A lot of times we think of the tumbled rocks that we see, but a real crystal looks like this. This right here. This is a beautiful crystal. In fact, this little crystal right here, they find tons of these out at the Ron Coleman. And so one of the things that you might notice is that the edges are kind of sharp in some areas. So imagine this, you're reaching down into the dirt to pick this guy up, and one of these edges is a little bit more sharp. If you don't have on gloves, you could end up cutting your hands, and then you're out there with the dirt, which could lead to a lot of bad stuff. So instead, grab some gloves, take them out there, and then whenever you pick up your crystals, you'll save and protect your hands. And the other items that I just mentioned are actually going to help you to uncover these items. For example, a shovel. My shovel is actually a little portable army shovel that I'll be taking out there, and I've taken it on many like fossil finding missions and things like that and had great success with it. It packs down super tiny, and at the same time I can dig into the earth and really get in there and find stuff. A rake can help you expose the surface a little bit more, especially if you're working in an area where you're already seeing crystals. You can kind of work around them to uncover them to see if it's a bigger cluster or if it's just like an individual that you could pick up and take that way. Of course, a bucket, you can put your actual finds in there. And And the old towels are actually something a lot of people don't think about, but they can help you to really just get in there and clean up to make sure that you're picking up a crystal and not a regular rock. And I definitely recommend taking a few of those just for the cleaning process, and then also the discovery, and even you could lay your things out on it so that you can kind of see what you have as you go. So all of those things are super handy. There's a couple of other things though, and then I'll send you on your way so that you can go mining as well. A few other things to consider if you're going out there, especially during the warmer months: a personal fan or a neck fan or a cooling wrap of some kind. Those will help you regulate your temperature a bit better. And also something that you might consider, an extra set of clothes, so that after you're finished you don't have to get in all grimy and mucky, because, well, it can get kind of gross out there, and if it does and then you're tracking it into your nice clean car, that might not be the most pleasant. They do have restrooms available, and you can change in the restroom if you need to, if you just get that grimy. And if you do, for any reason, at any point, start to feel swimmy headed or like you're seeing little stars, stop. You can always come back later, but there's only one of you and you can't replace that version of yourself. So definitely take the time to keep yourself cool. So if you're interested in finding crystals like this, I hope that you'll check out the Ron Coleman mine. I think you'll have a blast. I absolutely am so excited about my trip there, and I can't wait to share that adventure with you guys. Remember guys, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time, and I hope that this little informational video that kind of is a precursor for the actual adventure helps you guys out in learning a little bit more. Till next time guys, bye!